Hey guys, it's Angle Factor. We're here back with another video. If you clicked on this video, I can safely assume that you guys are looking to get into drifting. Today I'm just going to be going over everything you're going to need between the car, what your car is going to need, tech inspection requirements for most tracks, and just like everything abroad for what you're going to need to start drifting. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so the first topic we're going to be going over is the car that you are going to want to pick. Now, I have a piece of paper right here, just like a cheat sheet for everything. So, I have 5 cars that are suitable candidates for your first starter drift car. I have an E36 BMW, an E46 BMW, an S13 240SX, an S14 240SX, and then a 350Z. Now, I picked these cars for specific reasons, each one being a very different car in retrospect of how they perform and the price wise and how they're going to do at the track. So let's get into it. The E36, I picked this car because nowadays this is going to be the car that is the most cost effective way of getting to the track. A 240, those cars, they used to be that car, but now they're just getting way too expensive and the prices are just going up and they're just getting harder to find. So the E36s, you can literally pick these up for 800 bucks. Manual car, 800 bucks. That's why I believe the E46 and the E36 are like really good chassis. Even an E46 you can get for cheap. I paid $1,300 for my E46. That's an amazing deal, and it's a 2004. And getting into that part, the 350Z, I picked that. It's the most power out of all the cars, but it's the most price out of all the cars. And with it being a newer car, you're gonna have less issues with the car. So like, let's say you have a 180,000 mile chassis 240SX. With your 120,000 350Z or whatever you have, the parts are gonna be newer because it's a newer car, and they're gonna fail less. So those axles that you have, they're newer. They were produced way after those 240 ones. They're gonna break way less. Bushings, they're not gonna be worn out. All of your suspension parts, they're going to be newer than those, so they're not going to break as much. You're just going to have overall less problems with the newer car. But that still doesn't rule out all the other cars. They are still all great platforms. Alright, getting into modding your car and getting ready for the track. Now there's a certain couple things that you're going to want before you go to the track. One of those being a welded diff. A lot of people say, oh, I want an LSD because I want to street my car. You can street a welded diff. It's really not that big of a deal. I've done it. All my buddies have done it. It's perfectly fine. It's way cheaper. Way cheaper. And then it's reliable every time. Every time you clutch kick it, you know both wheels are going to be going, and you're not going to have to worry about understeering or doing something stupid just because one of your wheels didn't lock up. So I would highly recommend a welded diff over an LSD. If you want to spend the money and get a really nice LSD, if that's the route you want to go, they work very nice if you spend the money on them, but you do get what you pay for with those. Going into the E36, for the mods and the parts, you're going to want first a bucket seat, your welded diff, and then the reinforcements for the rear subframe. This is a very critical part on E36s. When you start bringing your E36 to the track and E46, the more and more you abuse them, they have a tendency to rip the mounts out of the body of the car, the subframe mounts. So you can order these plates. They're like 100 to 200. I'm not sure on the exact price, but you weld them in, and they're really reinforcement plates for that subframe, so they do not pull out of the body. So those 3 things: the seat, the plates, and the diff, and you can bring that car to the track. The 240, same thing. Besides the plates: seat, diff, track. Later on, coilovers, I mean, if you have them laying around, throw them on. But really, all you need is a seat and a diff. You really don't even need a seat, but it's just going to be less issues, and you're going to have a way better time driving because you're not going to be flopping around. Trust me, it's not a fun time. 350Z, welded diff. Bring it to the track, rip. That's about it. Now for tech inspection. So, when you get to the track, you're going to have to go through tech inspection. This is something they're going to look through your car and make sure it's safe to drive on their track. So I just have down a couple things that I've been asked, and the majority of what usually tracks ask. So we have a battery tie down. Every track you go to will have this rule. Your battery must be tied down. I do not recommend a ratchet strap, but if you don't have it done and you need to get it done, that'll work sometimes. I've seen people zip tie it. Yeah, you can do what you want, but probably won't pass tech anywhere. Um, just go to AutoZone, get yourself a battery box. They make boxes for boats you can get, and they just bolt into your car. Super easy. It's like $20. Just get that, get it done, and then you won't have to worry about it. All right, the next thing on our tech inspection list on 240SXs, if you do end up going that route, on the hot side where the manifold is, the brake booster is right next to it, and sometimes the brake fluid isn't happy and it'll leak out on your manifold and your car will start on fire. So a lot of tracks will require a heat shield in between the manifold and the brake booster to prevent the heat from getting to that and starting fire. Even if you don't track your car, I would highly recommend doing that. Even if you do like spirited driving down roads, it's just a safe thing to have. Seats. You cannot have a loose seat. It must be tight. If you can shake that thing around, you're not passing tech. You have to make sure your seats are secure and you're not going anywhere, as well as your seatbelts. You have to have seatbelts, working seatbelts. Please do not cheap out on safety. Sorry for the little bit different camera angle. My camera died, so I had to go charge it during mid-clip. Back into tech inspection, you just want to make sure all your lug nuts are tight because they may check those. You want to make sure everything is out of the car. There's no loose items going around. And basically, your car is just overall not sketchy. Most of the time, drift cars, they can get sketchy, but just try to hide it. That's my recommendation for you. All right, on to track preparation, the things that you're going to want to bring to the track. I would recommend bringing a jack stands, a tool bag or a toolbox full of all necessary hand tools that you're going to need to use to work on basic car stuff. Zip ties and duct tape. Bring lots of zip ties and duct tape. You can fix an amazing amount of things with duct tape and zip ties. All of my bumpers are held on by zip ties, so you're going to need them. Intake boot rips on E36, duct tape it up. Just easy stuff you can bring. Voltmeter and wire, I would recommend bringing that. Like last track event, Shane's car was overheating. We took and just basically hardwired his fan on. No issues the rest of the day. I'd recommend bringing tires. Depending on the track, anywhere from 2 to 6 rear tires extra should be fine. It's always better to bring extra and just bring home the ones you don't use. Food and drinks. Bring your own food and drinks. Usually there's lines, costs a lot of money. Just bring your own stuff in a cooler. It's going to save you a lot of time and hassle. Bring chairs too for your pits. So during lunchtime and when you're just off and not in your run group, you can just chill there. Pre-register. If your track doesn't do pre-register, if you just show up, that's not a problem. But at tracks like US Air that I drive at, you need to pre-register you most of the time, otherwise there's not going to be spots. So I'd recommend doing that way in advance before you do that. This is basically like the things you're going to need to bring to the track. You can always bring whatever else you feel necessary, extra parts like maybe tie rods, suspension arms if you have them. If you have more of a higher power car, I mean, you could bring like an axle or an extra diff or stuff you're really not going to break, but you could just bring it just in case. So that's basically it. Well, thanks guys for watching. Really hope you guys can decide what you want to do for a drift car and you have a better idea of what you're going to be getting into with drifting. It's a very like consuming sport with your time and your money. So once you're in it, and you're in it to win it. Until next time, guys, this is Angle Factor here with this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, see you guys.